You know, you in the last, 18 months finished your level 1 through precision nutrition, and that's become a bigger part of what you do, and that's kind of how you kind of serve the physical, and then you serve the, I don't know, I want to say food is good for the soul, but food is really good for the soul. You eat good things, you feel better.
Yes.
You know, you don't put unleaded fuel in a dragster. You got to put high octane fuel in a dragster. So how does that impacted the business getting into the nutrition game? Even though it's more lifestyle stuff.
To be honest with you, I would say that the #1 way so far that it's or the biggest way it's impacted the business and everyone who comes here is through our own health getting in order from nutrition changes. So like he was just saying, you know, our biggest reason for staying fit and eating healthy and having a healthy lifestyle is to make sure our cup is full before we try to pour into someone else. Because we do a lot of pouring into other people here, and we've got to have enough energy for that. You know, we have to have enough energy to perform at the top level in business in order to impact as many people as we can. So that would be the biggest way it's impacted so far in the last 18 months. But then, you know, of course, with my clients, it's a matter of being able to provide a lot more knowledge, right? Like, we've always, even before we opened here, HPF has been about educating, you know, making sure that you guys have, anybody that we talk to, even outside of here, that we're, you know, doing the best we can to bring the value of learning more about why certain things are important to do, what the benefits are, what happens when you don't, you know, just lifestyle generally, who you hang with, how your mood is, how your mindset is. All these things affect you physically, and it's going to in turn affect your, you know, athletic performance. So I would say that would be the next biggest, you know, impact it's had here, is just to be able to provide more value. So now, you know, I get into way more in-depth. You know, I've always talked to our athletes and clients about, you know, nutrition and eating well, and from the beginning, way from the beginning. But now it's on a deeper level, and it's way more individual, because now I understand, having been certified and getting more education myself and continuing to learn, even, you know, obviously after certification, like, you have to continue learning. You can't ever stop learning, right? So continuing to learn more and more about certain ways that nutrition can affect certain people depending on their physical activity level and all these other things. Being able to just provide that, you know, having these little side conversations before and after sessions with our athletes who are 16 and they don't understand what the difference is between having a, you know, Flavin' Hots for breakfast and you know, oatmeal. Like, they don't get that yet because they haven't experienced the change in how it makes them feel, you know. So once I can get them to just try it one day, recognize the change, then they start making a habit out of these things. So it's been an upgrade in terms of the value we can provide, you know, but on many different levels. It's also just through our physical selves, the value we can provide to make sure that we're taken care of physically and with our health to give the best service to them generally.
Right. Yeah. So you're more, because I'm vaguely familiar with the precision nutrition concepts. They're more developing good habits and changing, as opposed to, hey, you need to eat, you know, 30 grams of protein every 3 hours with a handful of rice and a thumb-sized amount of nuts or nut butter, which is kind of what they recommend anyways, but it's more geared towards changing the habit than saying, here's what you eat, and laying out 6 meals a day, which is, you know, that's the first thing, is the more and more I read and listen to people say things, it's the best X is what you can do for the next 10 years, whether it's diet or exercise or...
Make it part of your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's huge. So, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I chose precision nutrition to get certified and to learn from and use as a resource all the time. First of all, just like Elite FDS, they provide a ton of knowledge and information and content for free on their website. So I can go and type in any keyword and find 20 pages of peer-reviewed articles and research on nutrition and everything about, physical and nutritional health. So one is that, but the biggest thing with them is there is no quick fix. It's not about diets. It's not about a challenge. It's not about a cleanse. It's not meal plans. I do not write meal plans for people. Meal plans is just like being on a diet. When you're on it, you're on it. When you're off it, you're off it. And that's not sustainable. So what the program that I run consists of is habit-based learning. It's just like taking an online course. Lasts about a year. And you're learning a new habit every couple weeks. So you're learning lessons every day on why that habit is important and the benefits of it and why why it's going to help you be successful in the long term. And the biggest key is that all of these habits build upon each other, and the end result is having a sustainable way to live, right? Like a sustainable way to think about what you're eating, what it does for you, what result you want, to have the longest term, good health and quality of life. Rather than thinking, oh, I just need to have short-term goals because I need to lose weight for this, and then who knows after that, right? But that's why there's the rebound weight. You get weight gain back, and then you try to lose it again, and then it just keeps going.
It just yo-yos, and then all the other nonsense that, without delving too deep into human physiology, that it can just mess with your physiology, and then you're really screwed up, and now you need to go see a doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
No one wants to see doctors. Doctors are not fun.
They're necessary.
Let's talk about the evolution of the gym side. You opened up, you had 2 racks, a monolift, a competition bench.
Yep.
Over the last, the biggest jump and change has happened probably 8 months ago? Maybe a year?
Last
Probably
6 months.
Yeah.
6 months.
You've decided to shift gears from open gym powerlifting to a private facility where you can only service better. I'm going to take a shot at the dark in this. You're either paying for a program you come in and do on your own, but you're writing the program, or you are in one of your training groups. That's kind of your 2 options now, right?
Actually, now it's
one.
just one.
Oh, you got rid of the personalized program?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So we had an open gym membership where we had powerlifting equipment. I feel that the reason I wanted to do that is because that's what I was doing, and that's what I knew really well of how to train that way. But when I was training at QC, I would train a lot of athletes. That's my bread and butter. I can relate to athletes. I've been around athletics all my life, and I felt that that's where I needed to put in my heart and soul. From there, with the kind of equipment that we had, I wasn't able to serve as many athletes as I wanted to because everything was so spaced out, or you had a piece of equipment that could only work with one person at a time. Mind you, they were still working in groups, but it just took so long.
Right.
The way that we wanted to be able to serve a lot more people, and the way we'd be able to do that is to get rid of the things that would take time away from our athletes, and we wanted to make things more efficient where we could serve more people a lot better.
Yeah.
Also, I'll add, at the very beginning, when we opened, we were under the impression that we had to have open gym membership.
Mm-hmm.
That was how we were going to survive.
That's how people do it.
That's how it was always done. Or at least the majority of places that were small, small businesses, not these big box chain gyms, but smaller places at that time. It was, you had an open gym membership and you also did personal training. At that time we still were on one-on-one sessions, and we learned very quickly that that's not the best way to serve people. So at first we wanted to provide that safe place that we talked about, and that empowering, positive environment where we can help as many people as possible, have a place to call their second home and better themselves there, and from that time when we first opened here to now, we've narrowed down our gift zone, the things that we feel like we do the best at. which we've always kind of known, right? But we've understood that we need to serve that population even better, right? We wanna make a deep impact rather than a wide impact. You know, a wide impact would be having 100 members and, 200 members, whatever, and having them come in and doing their own thing, having an open gym membership, but we're not providing any instruction. And so what we've learned over time is that, the type of impact we want to have is deeper, into the point where we want to make sure that we're teaching the best principles on programming, on nutrition, on all these different things, where if you're coming in as an open gym member, we're not helping you with your programming and your nutrition and all these things, right? You're kind of doing it on your own. And we've understood, from the last 5 or 6 years, that we're having the best impact on the people that we're doing the most of the work for them. They just need to show up and be consistent.
Yeah.
So the vision is, to continue making that deep impact, and to be able to do it now on a much larger scale, because we've changed, layout and services to where things can be the most efficient in this short amount of time we need them to be able to serve as many people as we can at the level that we want to serve them at.
Right, so you switch, so you now have 4 racks. You can work off both sides of the racks, so you can realistically have 8 groups in there at least. And then, it's public knowledge now, right?
Yeah.
And then you cut up half the
Surprise.
rubber on the floor,
Yeah.
and you're getting turf.
A couple weeks.
Like, I know for a while it's like, man, we need to get that place next door so we can get turf, and now you just figured out, wait, if I do this.
Yep.
So you've restructured your business completely in, it took you a while to get there. It's really happened over the last 18 months. You kind of planned it, rolled it out in the last 6 to 8, and then it's changed again as of, a week or 2 ago?
This month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the post right before I left on Friday to come back home. I'm like, okay, what's going on? I gotta know what's going on, because it's exciting to see, like, when I wanted to open a gym, this is what I wanted to open up. Now I have no ambition to open a gym. I just
You've seen a little bit of
I've seen,
what we went through.
right, and I've been able to. You've allowed me to kind of not see behind the door, but you allow me to peek through the curtain once in a while. And I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want that responsibility. I like, if someone came to me and said, hey, I'm going to do the marketing, the business, I'm going to get the people through the door. All you got to do is show up, and your only sales, my only piece of the sales is my personality.
Yeah.
Which in my current position, I've added probably half a dozen clients simply because of word of mouth. And I feel like, that's probably from day one to now, that's probably 95% of how you got people through the front door is
100%.
100%?
Yes.
100%.
Everybody who comes in here, because we're really picky about who comes over here. Everybody knows each other. Everybody hears what an impact that we've had on a certain person, and then, the raving fans will be able to tell their closest friends about us. But going back to the business, that if we still stayed how we were, then we wouldn't be able to evolve to be able to help as many people as we wanted to. Because if you're staying the same, like, you're either getting better or you're getting worse, and we want to get better. We want to make sure that our people that we have over here are getting better as well.
Right. You have, let's see. I don't even know. We could talk about what your athletes have done, but it's not really about what it's more about the impact you can have 10 years from now, when they're done with sports and they have a wife and kids and they have a career. It's like, man, what would Mike tell me to do in this hard situation? That's the impact you want to have. But you've had kids from the time they were 8th graders, freshmen, and now
we're college graduates,
and business owners. And you got another wave that's getting ready to graduate and go to college. It's just amazing just to see, like, how over the last 6 years the faces, when you're back there training, like, the faces have changed. But the attitudes, the hard work, and just the personality, really haven't changed. It's like, we're still like, I can go up to one kid and be like, hey, how you doing? Like, I don't know you, but,
Yeah,
you know, I can talk to him like he's my best friend.
yeah, and that's the kind of people who, you know, we want to have here. You know, everybody helps each other. Everybody is, you know, they all have that same goal, that same common ground where, you know, if I work really, really hard and bring people with me, then I'll be all right.
Yeah.
And it's just cool just to see that, you know, athletics aside, you know, getting strong in the gyms aside, seeing these athletes do amazing outside these doors is, it's unbelievable. Going back to the story when I was talking about myself being in karate, I wanted to go back to compete in karate after I stopped competing for 10 years because somebody won the championship that I was never able to win. I always came in second place to win that championship. And then I saw somebody who I used to beat when I was younger win that same trophy.
And this trophy is like this tall.
Yeah.
It's like as tall as we are.
Yes. And
So he knew it when he saw it. He's like,
that's
wow.
mine. And I called up the necessary people I had to get back to where I once was. And then that same time where I was going to make the decision of going to go back to karate, I got a text from one of our athletes saying that he got a scholarship to the college of his choice. And that made all of my goals like
Obsolete.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Like, that's the reason why, you know, we're here. That's
Yeah,
the
that's-
reason we do what we do.
I think that it's taken me a while to get there, back to that again. It's like, it's not about me. It never was about me.
Yeah.
Like, my time's done. I mean, the only thing I have left is powerlifting, and that's still on the back burner for me. It's not like,
Keeps you sane.
right,
Keeps you
like,
sane.
I maybe want to do, I have one goal to achieve in that, and if I achieve it next year or the year after that, I can be done.
Yeah.
I want a total elite. I don't care what weight class. I just want to do it in wraps and sleeves, or knee sleeves and wrist wraps and a belt.
Yeah.
And then I can be done with the sport. And
Yeah.
I'll keep lifting. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't have that fire to go out and compete anymore.
Yeah.
I want to push other people to do better,
Yeah.
and that's kind of why I'm here, why I still hang around, why I haven't just walked away.
Yeah. It's much more fulfilling knowing that your not hard work, that your energy, like your legacy is going to live on after you. You know, like
Right.
Gina says it all the time, like how much you want to be able to pour so much value into somebody, like you want to overserve them so that they could have that impact on somebody else.
Right.
Because if it's just me, myself, if I'm coming up with goals just for myself, I'm not really impacting a lot of people.
No.
But
And we say that all the time, you know, that logo and the name High Performance Fitness is not about me and Mike.
No.
It's never been about me and Mike. It's about the people here. And it's about who they are able to impact outside of these doors and in their life and in their future. And it's the legacy of HPF. It has nothing to do with our names. And we were actually just having a conversation the other day about this because somebody said that they were surprised when we said we didn't want to have kids, and they're like, well, somebody has to carry on HPF. It's not going to be the same unless it's you two or your kid. And I'm like, yeah, right. Like that. How do you figure? I'm like, it'd be the same thing. And we were talking to one of our athletes who's a senior in high school right now, and I said it would be identically the same HPF if your son 10 years from now was here and carried on the same culture and the same values
Right.
and everything the same as how we set our standards and expectations here, but he was carrying it out, your family. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Any of you and your kids could do what we're doing if you kept with the culture of what HPF means. That's what HPF is. It's nothing to do with me or Mike. It's the culture. It's that legacy that's going to live on, hopefully, much, much longer than our bodies can handle.
Right. Like, so